tell you about an article that I was reading, and I think it's been circulating pretty widely the last few days. And it's this guy from Melbourne University called Professor Tony Burke, who's given us our 3 options now that we've managed to flatten the curve. I don't know why I put that in inverted commas, like I don't believe it. I do believe what's coming out. Flattening the curve, just like the Earth is not curved. Yeah, so this is the 3 possible scenarios of this guy who is an epidemiologist, so he must be right.
So he's like laid out this is like our 3 options for the country to unfuck this and move on as a society.
That's right. So he's like, given where we're at now, which is actually relatively pretty good if you believe the facts, which you probably should. This is the 3 options he says for where we can go with this. And then
as a nation.
Yeah, as a nation. Because obviously, like our Prime Minister's been saying, this is an Australian solution for Australians, not from other countries. We've got our own solutions. It's a very Australian made, okay?
Oh, my little patriotic heart just swells every time he says Australian, like I'm a moron or a dog responding to the word walk.
My ears
It's just Australians. Mate, I'm not a fucking moron. You don't need to say Australian all the time to engage me.
Remember when he took a shit at Engadine McDonald's?
I was there.
All right, so here I will read them so I don't mess them up because you're afraid that I
So you are going to read them, okay?
Okay, so
one.
Number 1 is we go for a thing that's called elimination, and that obviously means we go super fucking hard on the social distancing to the point where we just eliminate the virus. But that would mean that we basically live in these ISO chambers forever until there's a vaccine. How do you feel about that one?
Okay, and currently they're saying still it's maybe a year, maybe 18 months.
Yeah, that's
optimistically for a vaccine at this stage. And then you've got to get everyone to take it, which sounds like a chore in its own right.
Because there's anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, I know. So maybe we just bundle them all into one stadium and they can all have the virus together.
Yeah, so assuming that you bundle all the anti-vaxxers into the stadium, how do you
So
feel?
it's basically starve it out. Everyone stays home until we can cure it.
They really have to stay home. Like, we'd probably have to go to stage 4 lockdown, I think. Like,
yes, because for that to work,
it
you cannot create an option where anyone can pass it on.
That's right.
It's like isolating the zombies.
Yeah, it's like next level.
Okay, so that sounds hard. I mean, you know, you pay me to stay home, I will tolerate it because I've got the best company in the world.
The issue with that is that they're not sure that the economy could sustain 18 months of that bullshit.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's not ideal. All right, well, let's...
I have to say, none of it's ideal. Just saying.
Well, let's put a pin in that awesome idea. Let's see what's Tony got for us. What's behind door number 2?
Okay, door number 2. Keep squashing the curve. Okay.
I love how they're calling it squashing. We're not just flattening it, we're squashing it. We're burying the curve. We are pinning the curve down in prone position.
New idea.
Having our way with it.
Cut a promo, you versus the curve.
Let me tell you something, curve. What are you going to do? That sort of thing, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right. We'll put that in another episode. Okay, so basically, this is an idea where we don't really achieve herd immunity, which apparently is a good thing. Every time there's an outbreak, we just contain it. So we basically sort of live this weird life. Maybe we relax it a little bit.
Oh, it becomes part of our life, and there will be fluctuations of the
it'll
virus,
flourish,
and then.
But they basically allowing some people to get it. The guy again and again, like the vaccine is 18 months away. We might be able to loosen up a little bit from how we're living now. How's that feel? Some people will die.
Yes, so the issue with that one from a humanitarian point of view is that it will have... As a diehard humanitarian who wants each and every person I've ever met to continue living and not walk into an open sewer. So the issue with number 2 is that it's going to have more people die because we won't be as strict, but it will be better for the economy.
Yes, but don't forget that there's an argument that what is good for the economy, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Because if the economy ain't fucked... I think we're the goose. Am I a goose? I'm a real goose. Yeah, whatever's good for the economy will also trickle down to the people within that.
Oh yeah, trickling down's always worked traditionally, like those tax cuts for big companies.
I'm getting all moist.
Yeah, I know. Just too much trickling over the trickle less.
But it seems like that's like the medium place for it.
Oh, that's some deaths and some economy.
Yeah.
That's the middle ground. That's a good centrist option.
Yeah, a nice fence sitting.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, so what's behind door number 3?
Plan 3. This is kind of the fucking out there, bit wild, a little bit crazy plan. Like, this is the guy who comes in the boardroom, like the 80s guy who comes and he's like, I'm gonna change everything. Okay, this is basically the plan where we knowingly let loose a little bit to try to get some herd immunity. That would include let the cases go up, hold them at that level for a little bit until while our health services can manage. So no one's saying let it go up to the point where the ICUs can't be dealt with. And then wash this epidemic through a period for about 6 months until we have herd immunity. And then we can function quite normally again. Again, what's not mentioned in that simple statement is that heaps of people will die.
Heaps of people will die, and it also seems like, we'll just open the dam a little bit. Just oh, fuck! Yeah. Like, it feels like that could get away from us very quickly.
Yes.
As one person gets sick and goes, fuck this, I'm going to Summernats and licking everything. And then thousands of people get sick.
Yes, I think what we've seen is that you have to be, I love that everybody's just like, this is how I'm going to get around those rules. Like, because we're a nation of people who are like disgusting, crawly sluts.
Everyone else has to follow the rules except me.
Well, not even that. It's more just like, well, if I have to go over here and take my car 4 hours to go to my spin class, is that exercise? If I go to my mum's house for Easter, can I call that care? Like, everybody's trying to find...
They're all looking for loopholes.
Yeah, which
it's
I get.
It's like when they brought in the thing saying gatherings of 500. And I had people who run wrestling shows like, oh, that's cool. We'll just have 490 people. I think you're missing the point.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's why now they're just trying to stress, like, I think they started off with all these sort of complicated, like, we have 7 frogs in this car, and if you're going at 500 kilometers an hour, then it's okay to have, like, 7 frogs going up a ladder, like, kind of complicated rules.
It was too much for people.
Yeah. Now they just have to be like, stay home, bitch.
Everyone stays home.
Yeah. That's the rule. And I think with Plan 3, there's a lot of faith that people would be able to pay attention and adhere to some complicated rules.
Beginning with the word meticulous, we've already pushed this out of the space that most people can handle.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So...
it's imagine even in a zombie movie where they were like, look, what we're going to do is we're just going to develop herd immunity. We're just going to let them bite some people. Just bite a few people. So if you're a house of 6, you nominate one person in the family to get bitten.
And
you just shove them outside. Like, if the virus takes... If it can live for, at best a few days on a nice clean petri dish or whatever, on the handrails of the Diamond Princess,
mouth.
the Ruby Princess, it's a nice clean surface. That's the filthiest surface I know. So if it can only live for a few days on an object, and if you know within 14 days whether you've been exposed to it because you either get sick or nothing happens, then surely it would only take a month of no one interacting with anyone to sort of completely starve the virus of hosts.
Yes.
And then won't it just run out of food, assuming we're the food, and die? Is that how viruses work?
Yeah, essentially they could starve it, and that would be the shortest amount of time, I believe. So if you believe differently, pop it in the comments below, because we could be wrong. But yes, as my current understanding is that would be the shortest option, but also the most draconian and extreme, and they would really have to shut down everything. So I think they're worried that the economy probably can't dealio with it. And I think it would freak people out pretty bad. So I think at the moment, I feel like this is like, again, an RPG chart where they're trying to manage people's freaking out, people's looting, people's like concern for their mortality, like a bunch of different things.
People's putting their dreams on hold for whatever
dreams,
this thing is going to be.
The economy's quite a big one. But yeah, it's a difficult balancing act. And I get like why... And again, there's no real precedent for it, so they're trying to figure it out as they go. And I do not envy their position. Like, it seems like a very difficult thing to figure out.
Look, if you don't want to rule, don't be a king. Pretty straightforward.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry. So just put it out there. Anyone in Parliament who's having a hard time, if you just want to walk away, perhaps you could go be one of the 5,000 people that Woolworths is hiring. Perhaps you could go work for Centrelink on the phones. Maybe you could just sign up for Centrelink and see what that's like, trying to get that approved. Because no one's forcing you to be a king, okay? So wear the crown or go fuck yourself.
I'm going to take the lead on this outro, but it turns out I'm really bad at it, so I'm going to throw to Alex.
So we're going to do the call to action to take us home. So if you liked the video, like it. If you hated the video, like it ironically. Share, subscribe.
Take a big old shit on us in the comments.
Yeah. Tell us that we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I mean, we kind of know anyway, but we like to hear it from others. It's validating. And stay safe.
Stay clean.
Stay clean. No, look, if you're home, get as dirty as you like.